Hello everyone, Sprayer back again with our Marvel Content Chain video. And today I'm going over the top 5 worst mutant champions in the game as of right now. And yeah, basically I'm going on vacation, and yeah, I just thought, a nice little thing to do throughout the week while I'm away, just so I can keep giving you guys content and keep up on the uploads. Just make like a little nice top 5 worst characters, because most people do the top 10 best characters of each class. But I want to do something different. I want to tell you guys who not to rank up. And yeah, believe it or not, the mutant class was probably the hardest to do out of all of the classes. Like, yeah, they got their stinkers, but in terms of like the absolute bottom 5, it was really hard to select like 4 and 5. And I think, number 5, it has to be Psylock. Like, I was originally thinking about like putting someone else here, but I would keep like looking at Psylock and compare it to them. I'm like, nah, they're above Psylock. Nah, they're above Psylock. And it just got to the point where it's like, yeah, Psylock might be in the bottom 5, unfortunately, which I think is a shame. But it just goes to show you how strong the mutant class is, or like just how above average they are. And yeah, I mean, Psylock, it's not the worst champion in the world. Which is funny to say in a top 5 worst champions video. But yeah, she's not the absolute worst. She has nice power control, but nothing else. But I mean, she does more damage than OG Vision, and she has like nice power control. So it's like a nice little balance where I think she's just a much better Vision. But yeah, they could definitely do more with her, and I hope they do buff her. And yeah, I think it'd be really cool if she got buffed. But yeah, unfortunately, she's in the top 5. Once again, I didn't think she would get there. Alright, and then next up, we have another female mutant, and that being Jubilee. So Jubilee actually almost got a buff for the Community's Choice this year, and she lost to X23, who, spoiler alert, is on this list. And yeah, Jubilee, she can do some stuff. Like, she's definitely more of a complex character with all of her fireworks, but I'm gonna be honest, like, looking at these numbers, there's nothing like super amazing. Like, yeah, negative 30% defensive combat parry rates, that's very annoying. It allows you to be a lot more aggressive, and the ability actually is nice, but it's only by 50%, so your stuff's only failing half of the time, which is, yeah, I mean, which is nice, but like, it's not consistent enough to me. And then 55% of extra energy damage sounds nice, but considering she doesn't really deal any damage, yeah, this 55 number is just probably going to add like an extra 2 damage. Let's be honest. And yeah, I'm going to be honest, her utility is not really all there, and then like all of her fireworks stuff is just not potent enough to make her really usable. And there's a reason why she was on the Community's Choice Women's Day vote for the next buff, and it's because she desperately needs one. But yeah, she's not getting it. X23 is, and God, I'm dying. She ain't gonna get that buff, at least not for right now. But we know that since she was considered to get a buff, we know that she's probably going to get a buff somewhere down the line, sooner rather than later. Alright, I already said X23 is on this list, and she is right up next. So I actually think X23 is worse than Jubilee, because at least Jubilee has like her fireworks things that can reduce ability accuracy and combat power rate and do extra bursts of damage, which I think is the worst thing. I think you mainly want to look at the other two fireworks. But yeah, looking at X23, she basically puts bleeds on when she critical hits, but like they don't, like, they have a stack limit, which is stupid. Yeah, I believe like it's a max of 6, which I don't know why. Just make it stackless. It's not like she's gonna reach Weapon X levels of bleeds where she's able to stack on like 99. It's like since it's relying on crit, she's not gonna stack on that many bleeds. You can't refresh the bleeds. You can't pause the bleeds. Anything like that. Like, I think you just remove her stack limit and just let her just bleed the opponent like crazy. It would fix the champion, but it's just stupid that she has this hindrance that makes her even weaker than she already is. And yeah, I mean, she's just such a simple champion. She just puts bleeds on the opponent. She has a nice regen, but it's worse than OG Wolverine's. She's basically Wolverine if she dealt more damage but healed less. But the reason people like Wolverine is not because he can deal crazy damage. It's because he can just heal a lot and not die. Plus, he has the Apox energy, which kind of fixes that. So yeah, there's really no reason to use X-23. She's literally just a worse Wolverine in almost every single way. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that she's getting a buff. I'm going to be honest, I actually hope they give her a different model that looks more, like, original instead of, like, her Wolverine outfit. Like, I know she has this outfit in the comics, but I hope they give her, like, a more original look, kind of like how she does in, like, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or something like that. Alright, but next up, we have Beast. And yeah, unfortunately, Beast in this game sucks. He is probably a champion, like one of the champions I want buffed most in the game, which actually gives me a nice idea for another ranking or top 10 video. Just top 10 champions I want buffed. And yeah, Beast would surely be on that, but unfortunately, we have no word of a Beast buff coming soon. And yeah, he's just like another champion that just doesn't really do anything, and all the things he does is just so weak and not potent that there's really no point to it existing in this kit. And he's also a really complex character with like him having a bunch of different combos and stuff like that. Like, yeah, he just has a bunch of different combos that do different things, and it's just not really worth it. It's not worth it to learn Beast. But I mean, yeah, again, I just hope this guy gets a buff, and yeah, Beast just sucks. Now the worst mutant character, I think we all know who it is. It's Cyclops. So we saw the blue team Cyclops get a buff, and oh wait, they updated the red Cyclops' animations too. That's cool. But unfortunately, that's all they updated because yeah, look, he is another champion that suffers from the I was released when the game first released syndrome, where they basically have no abilities, and all this Cyclops does is he gains a precision buff and he puts armor breaks, and his damage is pitiful. There's really no ramp or anything like that. He just sucks, and everyone knows he sucks. But I'm glad that the blue team Cyclops got a buff, because now we can finally have a usable Cyclops in the game. And yeah, I don't really think this guy's going to get buffed anytime soon, just because we got the blue team's buff. And I don't really want him to get buffed because we do have the blue team's buff. But yeah, that doesn't make him any less bad. Just because the blue teams got buffed, the red one was left in the dust. And yeah, you probably want Dust more than him because she's an actual good character. But yeah, Cyclops, he just sucks. Doesn't really do anything. And yeah, there's really no point in using him. But yeah, those are the worst mutant champions in the game. I'm honestly, like, as I'm recording these videos, it just really sounds like, yeah, this character just doesn't do anything. They suck. Moving on to the next character. Yeah, they don't really do anything. They suck. But yeah, I just think it's fun to look at some of the worst characters in the game comparatively to some of the best. Because I think we all really know who the best are in the game. And we sometimes fail to remember how bad champions can be. And like I said, everyone's telling you who to rank. I'm telling you who not to rank. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know what champions or what mutant characters you think are the worst in the game. And is there any characters here that you don't think should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below. And goodbye.